The ratings are in for Wednesday's edition of AEW Dynamite on TBS, of course that being the AEW All Out Go Home show. Of course that show ended with Hangman Adam Page burning down Swerve Strickland's childhood home. We've got more details on how that angle came together. We have the ratings for Tuesday's edition of WWE NXT. Former WWE superstar Xia Li is on her way to TNA Wrestling. Bret the Hitman Hart has been announced for Monday's edition of Raw on USA Network. Willow Nightingale will defend the CMLL World Women's Championship at the upcoming 91st anniversary show. Tony Shabani says that nobody is on the level of AEW broadcaster Excalibur, including WWE's latest broadcast signing, Joe Tessitore. Cody Rhodes, WWE, and Fanatics have been sued over the use of the American Nightmare phrase, and WWE Saturday night's main event could be on the way back. We'll let you know when. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with the ratings for AEW Dynamite on Wednesday night. Of course, it was the go-home show for AEW All Out this coming weekend. Now, of course, with All Out looming large on September 7th, AEW returned to Milwaukee, Wisconsin for the September 4th edition of AEW Dynamite, where the company put together some of the final pieces for the upcoming pay-per-view in Chicago. Kazuchika Okada defended the AEW Continental Championship against Kyle Fletcher. Mariah May defended the AEW Women's World Championship against Nyla Rose. And Hangman Adam Page finally got to burn down Swerve's house. With all that said, how many people tuned in to TBS to see the final Dynamite before All Out this weekend? According to WrestleNomics, the September 4th edition of Dynamite averaged a total of 660,000 viewers, a 5% drop from the 697,000 viewers that the August 28th episode drew. The key 18-49 demographic took an even bigger hit as the show earned a 0.19 number, 17% less than the 0.23 it scored 7 days earlier. Those are Dynamite's lowest viewership numbers since the August 7th, 2024 episode of the show, and the fourth lowest ever in its regular Wednesday night time slot. Dynamite still ranked highly for the evening compared to other primetime cable shows that aired, placing fifth behind 2 hours of Fox News coverage, first and fourth place, and the US Open Tennis Tournament, second place, and MTV's The Challenge, that airing in third place. Now, in terms of the quarter-hour ratings, these come courtesy of WrestleNomics, so shout out to them and be sure to subscribe to their Patreon service. Dynamite started with its traditional big leading from The Big Bang Theory, as Q1 was viewed by 810,000 people, but that dropped to 636,000 by quarter-hour 2. The lowest viewership occurred in quarter hour 6 as the total dipped to 597,000 viewers, but that would bounce back by quarter hour 8. That was viewed by 675,000 viewers. The show's closing angle that took place in the 7-minute overrun was viewed by a total of 665,000 live viewers. Now, speaking of the show, as I mentioned, the big angle to close the show was the burning down of Swerve Strickland's childhood home. Now, AEW went off the air with a widely acclaimed arson featuring Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. Page burned down the childhood home of Swerve Strickland, which was a major purchase for him after the recent news of his contract extension. Now, Fightful Select have been told that this was all coordinated and planned, and even though the deal was announced, was actually finalized shortly after. Swerve had over half a year left on his deal, but the company saw a storyline opportunity to announce it as well. The actual house that was used saw a very small crew travel down to burn it down and had professional supervision. The angle reportedly had been planned for months, Fightful have been told, with many on the AEW roster not knowing it was happening. Numerous talent, both in and out of AEW, congratulated Swerve, not knowing buying the house was all an angle. One wrestler told Fightful that Swerve actually kayfabed them and thanked them. There were numerous meticulous references with the angle in mind, specifically to help create more conflict into the story, where Hangman Page could largely be viewed as a babyface leading into it. Fightful have been told there are storyline reasons planned as to why Hangman Page isn't in jail or on charges. Fightful Select reported this week that Hangman and Swerve were slated to main event AEW All Out tomorrow evening. Needless to say, those that Fightful have spoken to in AEW were very happy about how the angle was executed and the reception associated with it. Numerous talent Fightful saw in Chicago at Black Label Pro also went out of their way to watch the angle unfold after. For a very strange people online thinking that the house in Swerve's video and the one in Hangman's segment were not the same, it absolutely was the same. It's just different angles and different sides of the house. Now, NXT, we got the ratings for NXT this past Tuesday on USA Network. After a very newsworthy No Mercy premium live event on September 1st, WWE NXT returned to Orlando, Florida on September 3rd for its regular weekly show on the USA Network. NXT's debut on the CW Network is rapidly approaching, with the Halloween Havoc P.Alley also not far away. How many people tuned in to see the Rascals earn a shot at the NXT Tag Team Championships, Trick Williams face Pete Dunne, and Julia make her debut on American television? According to WrestleNomics, the September 3rd episode of NXT averaged a total of 631,000 viewers, marking a 3% increase from the prior week, that being 615,000 viewers that tuned in last week. This is also a 1% increase on the trailing 4-week average that came in at 624,000, which also includes the second week that NXT aired on Sci-Fi due to the Summer Olympics in Paris, forcing them off USA Network for 2 weeks. While the overall average viewership got a small bump, the key 18 to 49 demographic number remained the same, with the September 3rd episode earning a 0.17, the exact same as the previous week, as well as the trailing 4 weeks according to Programming Insider. A 0.17 places NXT in the top 10 for all primetime shows that aired Tuesday night, sitting in the 10th place behind FBI International on CBS, which earned the exact same number. As for all primetime shows that aired on cable, NXT finished in 3rd place behind 2 separate hours of Fox News coverage. Now, let's talk about TNA Wrestling, with a former WWE superstar set to debut imminently. Xia Li is heading to TNA Wrestling, according to a new video introduction for the former WWE star, stating that she is coming soon. The video can be seen during the broadcast on Access TV, which features a female wrestler gesticulating towards a roaring fire while sharing ominous words. The voiceover for the video has the wrestler seemingly setting out their goals in TNA Wrestling, saying, quote, "The initial spark is a symbol of my awakening, and from this point on, there is no turning back." Coming soon is then splashed across the screen before a final shot of a blue fan being shown. Lee has been working under the name Xia Xiao since her WWE release in April of 2024. Now, Bret Hart, the WWE Hall of Famer and the Hitman, is returning to Monday Night Raw. The legendary Bret Hart will be making his return to WWE Raw on an upcoming episode emanating live from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. The September 9th episode of Raw is being billed as the season premiere and is taking place from the Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary. The WWE interviewer Jackie Redmond made the announcement on social media that Bret Hart will be present for the show. Along with a video announcing the news, Redmond wrote, quote, "Breaking, I can officially confirm that Canadian legend Bret the Hitman Hart will be in attendance this Monday for the season premiere of WWE Raw at the Saddledome in Calgary. Break out your pink and let's rock." WWE CCO Triple H also shared the post and wrote, quote, "When in Hart Country, Bret Hart joins us for Raw's massive season premiere this Monday, 8/7 Central, live from Calgary on USA Network. You definitely don't want to miss this." So Bret Hart is scheduled for this coming Monday's episode on USA Network. Now let's switch over to CMLL featuring an AEW star. It didn't take long after Willow Nightingale lost the AEW TBS Championship to Mercedes Moné to put some more gold around her waist, winning the vacant CMLL World Women's Championship at Fantastica Mania USA back in early July. So far, however, Nightingale hadn't taken the trek to Arena Mexico to defend the title, something that will change next Friday at the CMLL 91st anniversary show. During her appearance on last night's episode of CMLL Informer, it was announced that Nightingale would be part of CMLL's marquee show of the year, defending the CMLL World Women's title against CMLL star Zixus. Nightingale becomes the third AEW star to be announced for the event, joining Chris Jericho, who will face Mystico, Rocky Romero, and Orange Cassidy, who will team with Satoshi Kojima to face Atlantis Jr., Ultimo Guerrero, and Volador Jr. The anniversary show will be Nightingale's second ever appearance in CMLL, following a previous match earlier on this year. Nightingale, of course, will have one last obstacle before she can get to Arena Mexico in the form of her friend turned enemy Chris Statlander. The two are set to settle their differences once and for all this Saturday at All Out in a street fight. Though the match was originally scheduled for the CMLL World Women's Championship, Nightingale indicated the title wouldn't be on the line last week due to CMLL refusing to sanction the match. Now, let's talk about Tony Shabani putting lots of praise on AEW broadcaster Excalibur. Current AEW announcer Tony Schiavone commented on WWE's latest broadcast hire, Joe Tessitore, following his debut on Raw. On his podcast, What Happened When, veteran pro wrestling broadcaster Tony Schiavone commented on WWE's latest hire at the commentary desk. Mentioning that he believes Joe Tessitore will do well in his new role in WWE, Schiavone made a point of saying that he doesn't believe Tessitore will be on AEW Dynamite announcer Excalibur's level because no one is. Schiavone said, quote, "I'm sure Joseph Tessitore will do well, and I'm sure that Nick Khan is paying him a big chunk of money. I'm sure he is going to end up one of the best, I would hope, play-by-play men in wrestling. I don't think he'll be in the class of Excalibur, but then again, right now, in this day and age, no one is. He is amazing." Now, this is an interesting story regarding another lawsuit in professional wrestling, this time against Cody Rhodes and WWE. A lawsuit has been filed against Cody Rhodes, real name Cody Runnels, WWE and Fanatics over the use of the American Nightmare phrase. The suit was filed by Wesley Eishold, a musician who heads up a band called American Nightmare. As reported by Post Wrestling, the suit alleges trademark infringement, breach of contract, and intentional interference with contractual relations, and was filed in federal court in California. Eishold's American Nightmare band was formed in 1998 and broke up in 2004 before reforming in 2010. Eishold has held a registered trademark for American Nightmare since 2016 for the following uses: pre-record digital, downloadable, and physical media, namely audio, files, cassettes, CDs, discs, DVDs, hard drives, MP3s, phonograph records, tapes, vinyl, and WAV files featuring music, images, videos, and performances by musicians and entertainers. Now it goes on by talking about clothing and apparel, namely shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, headwear, entertainment services, namely live performances by a musical group. Now, in relation to that trademark, Post Wrestling writes, quotes, "In March 2019, Cody Rhodes applied to register the trademark The American Nightmare for wrestling-related activities. Eishold, who had registered a similar trademark earlier, opposed Rhodes' applicant. Now, the parties eventually agreed to a settlement in March 2021 to resolve the dispute, ultimately allowing Rhodes to register the trademark. At that time, Rhodes was under contract to AEW. He later returned to WWE in 2022, where he continued to use the trademark. Under the settlement terms, Rhodes was allowed to use American Nightmare on his merchandise under the condition that such items prominently use Rhodes' name, likeness, or wrestling-related imagery in a size at least 70% larger than the American Nightmare text, according to the settlement agreed provided as an exhibit to Eishold's complaint. In exchange, Rhodes agreed to a one-time payment to the musician of $30,000. Eishold now claims that Rhodes, WWE, and Fanatics have violated that agreement by selling merchandise items that failed to meet those conditions. Essentially, Eishold claims that many of the items WWE is selling through Fanatics display the American Nightmare phrase too prominently, so it doesn't meet that 75% requirement noted above. Eishold claims that some fans of the American Nightmare band purchase Rhodes merch and wear it to their concerts, and that WWE fans sometimes tag the American Nightmare band on social media posts, suggesting there is evident confusion between the two. Post Wrestling adds, quote, "The complaint indicates that Eishold's legal representatives contacted Rhodes' lawyer in 2022 about the infringing Crown t-shirt design, but didn't receive a response. More recently, in April and May 2024, respectively, the Musicians' Council sent separate cease and desist letters to Fanatics and Rhodes. Eishold's complaint says that on May 31st, his attorney received a letter from WWE that indicated that Fanatics referred the dispute to the wrestling company. Other than that, the plaintiff says he's received no other correspondence from the defendants. Eishold is seeking, as well as recovering attorney's fees, damages of at least $150,000, as well as treble damages of up to $300,000 related to federal trademark infringements. As of this recording, none of WWE, Cody Rhodes, Fanatics, Cody Rhodes' trademark attorney, or Eishold's attorney for this case have yet to comment. And finally, could we see Saturday night's main event set to return later on this year? The date of the planned first WWE primetime special event on NBC in over 16 years has potentially been revealed. WWE Saturday night's main event specials were previously a staple of the company during the golden era, though the company has not held a primetime special event since the last Saturday night's main event on August 2nd, 2008. However, the near 16-year wait for another primetime special could be about to end, as WrestleVotes is now reporting that WWE is set to announce a new new special in the next few days, likely to take place in December. They wrote, quote, WWE is set to announce a live primetime special on NBC in the next few days. While the location remains unknown, sources say tickets are set to go on sale next Friday. We've heard some internal speculation about a Saturday night in December. This will be WWE's first primetime NBC special since August 2nd, 2008. Of course, WWE set to host WWE Week on the USA Network next week, featuring SmackDown's return to the USA Network after leaving Fox. But there you go, guys. Latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.